here we're going to look at different ways to combine functions. So essentially if they ask you for f, say, minus g or f plus g, you just take the two equations and add or subtract or multiply them, whatever it is they're asking for. So here f minus g, we just literally want to take the two functions and subtract them. So f is negative 2x plus 1, or square root of negative 2x plus 1, and g is 4x squared plus 5. Now be careful, because you're doing this whole function minus this whole one, it's minus all of g, so that negative does get distributed to both of those. And so if I want to simplify, this is under the square root, so I don't really have like terms, but at the very least I could put the negative through there. So it says this square root minus 4x squared minus 5. All right, then they also ask about the domain of this. And so think, well, what issues cause problems in a domain? I can't divide by 0 and I can't take a square root of a negative. So at the very least, what's under the square root needs to be greater than or equal to 0. So I'll probably add 2x maybe to the other side. That way I can keep things positive. It's a little easier. Divide by 2. So x has to be less than, right? Alligator mouth opens towards the half, so x is smaller. So I can only put in stuff that's less than or equal to 1/2. So that means all the small numbers up to 1/2 would be the domain. Okay, so then they ask you instead, the second part, for f times g. So same thing, just take a look at what operation they're asking for, and then we're just multiplying the two functions. So if I multiply the two functions, it looks like this whole square root times this whole function, and I'd probably leave them like that. There's no reason to distribute so that it just becomes longer or you have another square root, so just two functions times each other. And then think about the domain. The only issue you have is the same thing. You don't want to put negative numbers in the square root, so it looks like it has the same domain as the previous one.